This woman was absolutely crazy. She grabbed the plane's railing, then desperately climbed to the top of the aircraft. The vast ocean below was terrifying with just one glance. One wrong move and she'd be swallowed by the sea. Facing the tens of thousands of meters high in the sky, she calmed down and felt a bit regretful. But right now, she needed to survive. The woman resolutely grabbed the plane's antenna. She didn't dare to be careless, only moving her body after securely gripping with both hands. Massive air currents blew her side to side. The pilot wasn't idle either. He opened the window and handed the woman a bottle of strong liquor. Receiving the bottle, she moved again, then bit off the cap with her teeth. She actually wanted to pour alcohol into the plane's tank while thousands of meters in the air, but due to the violent turbulence, the liquor flew out of her hand in an instant. Helpless, she had to return and ask the pilot to get her another bottle. This time, learning from her previous experience, she waited for the wind to slow down before moving, then quickly bit off the cap and poured the entire bottle into the fuel tank. Immediately after, she repeated her trick, asked the pilot for several more bottles, and dumped them all in. After adding 5 bottles, the woman finally relaxed and returned to the cabin. Facing her boyfriend's loud praise, she smiled like a victor. Her boyfriend then shared some good news. While refueling, he thought he saw a small island, though very small. The man believed they could land there, but unexpectedly, his girlfriend instantly rejected the idea. The boyfriend thought they should turn back, perhaps their only chance of survival, but fuel wasn't abundant. Turning back would mean no return. Looking at the vast, endless ocean below, the woman understood. This might be their only chance of rescue. She then switched places with her boyfriend. His arm wound was infected. He could no longer pilot the plane. This meant their fate was now in her hands. She put on the headset, then turned the plane towards the small island. But after a long time, she never saw the island her boyfriend mentioned. The plane's fuel grew increasingly low. The man began to doubt himself. Had he imagined it earlier? But they had no more chances. They'd been flying for 10 minutes. Turning back was now impossible. The seemingly calm sea actually concealed raging depths, as if ready to devour their lives. The fuel tank was now empty. The engine had stopped working. Fortunately, this was a glider. Even without power, they could still glide for a while. At that moment, they saw a glimmer of hope, but the island was too far, and the plane had no power. How to land remained a major problem. The man comforted his girlfriend not to panic. At their current speed, they could glide over. As they lost altitude, the woman desperately controlled the plane, but the descent was too rapid. The plane's speed couldn't be slowed. After violent impacts, they fell unconscious. The entire plane plunged into the sea. In a critical moment, the woman suddenly awoke. She desperately called out to her boyfriend, but he showed no response. Anxiously, she unbuckled her safety belt, wanting to pull the man up with her, but her lung capacity wasn't enough. She could only go first and then find a way. She burst out of the water, took a massive gulp of air, then quickly returned underwater, but the man was trapped by the wing. She had to desperately shake the plane, then put a life vest on her unconscious boyfriend, brought him to the surface, then dragged him to the shore. Breathing fresh air, her boyfriend instantly awoke, just as they were lamenting the unpredictability of life. How good it was to be alive. A wave slapped them awake. When the woman looked up, this was no island at all, just a sandbar, currently at high tide. In less than 2 hours, it would be submerged. Hearing this, the woman could no longer hold on. She desperately looked around. If you had experienced all this, what would you do?